Hello, how are you all? Welcome to this channel. I am Mary Tejidos. In today's step-by-step, we are going to be making this beautiful basket-style bag with reverse single crochet. Let me show you how beautiful the stitch is and the finish it gives. Also, it's an easy bag to make. Its style is trendy and it's quite affordable. I'm also going to teach you how to make this base from scratch. Look how the stitch gives it a lot of firmness and structure. If you're new to the channel, I invite you to subscribe and also turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming tutorials. I hope you'll stay with me until the end of the class, enjoy the process, and put it into practice. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments and I will gladly answer you. And finally, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and leave a comment as a sign of appreciation. This motivates me to keep sharing these wonderful lessons with you. So, without further ado, let's go to the list of materials and then to the step-by-step instructions. We're going to work with the following materials. Knitting needles of 1.5 millimeters are for weaving in ends, and a 6 millimeter crochet hook. This will be our main needle. Scissors, a 3 centimeter diameter lobster clasp ring, and a personalized nameplate with the channel's name. You can get this at your online store. Your supplies, 9 stitch markers, measuring tape. We are going to work with t-shirt yarn or skein. Here I have 3 rolls of 250 grams each, for a total of 750. 750. In the video description, I will leave you the exact amount that we will be using for this project. This is a premium feather type t-shirt yarn with a strand that is 3 centimeters wide. If you're interested in getting this material, in the video description, I'll leave you the link to their shopping page. We're going to start by working on the base of our bag. We'll make it using reverse single crochet, and I'll explain how we're going to do it. We start by making a slip knot in 1 stitch. We turn, crochet the loop on the hook, yarn over, and slip through this loop on the hook. Yarn over and slip. This way, we will work the chains until we reach number 16. Complete the 16 chains. Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and it measures 14 centimeters long. Before starting the first round, we are going to place 2 markers, one on the slip stitch at the beginning and the other on the last chain, number 16. We place the first marker here, and here the second one. We're going to turn the chain, and we'll work here where the little bumps are, passing the hook under each bump. Starting in the second one, we pass the hook under the second bump because the first one is our turning chain. Here we're going to start the reverse stitch. Pay close attention. We're not going to do it the way we usually do, which is passing the hook under the yarn, but instead we're going to pass the hook over it. That means we're always going to catch the yarn with the hook on top, like this. Pull it up to the level of the loop on the hook, yarn over, and close. Here we have the first stitch. You can't see it yet. We pass the hook under the next little ridge. We take the yarn, not from underneath. Instead, over the top, like this. The hook should always be above the yarn. We bring it forward, lift it up. See how the yarn looks a little twisted here? We have 2 loops on the hook. We yarn over again and close the stitch. And here we can see the single crochet, which looks like an X. Now we go under the next little ridge. Not picking up the yarn this way, but rather over the top. We pull up a loop, and now we have 2 loops. We yarn over and close the stitch. We go underneath again. We yarn over, not from underneath, but from above. Here's how our stitch looks. Look, it looks different from the stitch we usually make. I'll show you here. We make a stitch from underneath. Look how it turns out. This one has a V, and these on this side look crossed. Let's do it in a crossed pattern, so that we get a better finish on this type of bag. We pass under the strand again. As I was saying, not underneath, but over the top. We add height. We yarn over and close the stitch. We are going to make the stitch under the last ridge. Not underneath, but on top. We pull up a loop. We yarn over and pull through. And here, where the marker is, which is the slip stitch from the beginning, we're going to make a triple increase. That means 3 stitches in that same stitch. To give our base an oval shape, we remove the marker. We pass the hook under this strand. We make the first stitch here. We pull up the loop to the level of the loop on the hook. We yarn over and close. Inside that same space, we're going to make the next stitch. We pull up a loop. We yarn over and pull through. And now we'll make the last stitch. Here we have 3 stitches in the same space. We're going to place it in this first stitch of the increase. A marker. And here in the last one, we're going to place another marker. This will show us where the increase started and where it ended. We're going to work the stitches on this side by inserting the hook into the center of the chain, taking only the top loop. See that we have the full chain stitch. We're not going to insert the hook under the whole chain, but through the center. Here we will work 15 stitches until we reach the stitch before the marker. We insert the hook through the chain center. We yarn over and make the stitch in the center of the next one. Continue like this until you complete all 15 stitches. Complete all 15 stitches, check them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Here, where the marker is, we're going to make the triple increase just like we did on this side. We remove it. We pass the hook under the first strand. Look, here we have 2. We're only going to take the one on top. We go underneath. Here we make the first stitch of the increase. We place the marker. We pass the hook again. And we make the second stitch. In that same space, we make the third stitch. And here we place a marker. We finished the first round with 36 stitches. Please check that you have that number. We work 15 single crochets on each side. And in the corners, we make a triple increase. We're going to close this round, bringing this loop up and passing the hook under the second chain. We're only going to do this in this first round. Normally, the closing is done in the first complete chain. But here, since we're going to start the first stitch of the second round, I need to close on this side. So we pass the hook under the chain. We place the reserved loop. And we move it to the back. Here we open it a little bit. This is how the end of the first round should look. To start the second round, we will pass the hook under the strand that we have taken to the back, in the center of the 2 stitches. Look, here we have it at the bottom of the strand. A simple stitch. And on this side is the increase. Well, between the increase and the simple stitch. We will pass the hook under the strand. To make the first stitch of the second round, we will make the other stitches under each chain, in these spaces. We pass the hook through, in between the stitches. We set aside this loop on this side. We yarn over. We add height. We place the reserved little loop on the hook. We yarn over, and we go through both little loops. Here we've made the first stitch of the second round. We pass the hook under the entire chain. And here we make the second stitch. Under the next one. We're going to make the stitches until we complete all 15, reaching the stitch before the marker. Complete the 15 stitches. Check them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We are going to work the stitches on this side, where we made the triple increase in the previous round. And in each little stitch, we are going to make a double increase. That means 2 stitches in each stitch. We remove the marker here. We pass the hook under the full chain stitch. We yarn over. We pull up a loop. We yarn over again, and here we complete the first stitch. We place a marker. This is so we know that this is where the increase starts. We pass the hook under the same chain to complete the second stitch. We have the first increase. We pass the hook under the next chain. And here we're going to make 2 stitches. We're going to make the last increase. We insert the hook. We place the marker on the last stitch. We complete the increases on this side with 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We are going to work the regular stitches on this side until we reach the stitch before the marker. If, when making the stitches, you see that the base twists like this, it's normal. What you should do is organize the stitches as you go along. and you'll see that the base will return to its normal state. I've already completed the 15 stitches here. We're going to work the increases on this side just like we did here. That means we're going to work 2 stitches into each stitch. We make the first increase. We place the marker here. We're going to make the second increase. And here is the third increase. And complete the 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's make the join. Pull this loop up. 1, and we go under the first full chain stitch. Look, we're doing it here in the first chain. We pass the hook from back to front. We place the loop we set aside. And we take it to the back. Here we set it aside. We open it. We finish the second round with 42 stitches. Whenever you finish a round, please check the number of stitches so that you don't end up missing or having an extra stitch. Here, we make 15 stitches on the top part, 15 on the bottom part, and here at the corners where the increases are, we make 6 stitches in each corner. Let's start the third round, passing the hook under the strand that we brought to the back. In between the 2 stitches, we place the reserved loop. This is how we will start all the rounds from now on. Yarn over. Now we add height, and we make the first stitch. We're going to pass the hook under the full chain stitch. Now we're going to work the single crochet stitches. Remember that here we need to make 15 stitches until we reach the stitch before the marker. I finished the 15 stitches. We'll handle the increases on this side. And here, we're going to follow a sequence of single crochets. Increase, single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase. We start with a single crochet. We finish with an increase. We start by placing the marker. We make the increase stitch. Next comes a single crochet, a single stitch, and here in the next increase stitch, single crochet, and here in the last one, an increase stitch. We place the marker on the last stitch. We complete the increase with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stitches. In each round, we will increase by 3 stitches. In the previous round, we made 6 stitches, and in this third round, we have 9 stitches. We will now work the 15 stitches on this side up to the stitch before the marker. I finished the 15 stitches. Now, let's work the last increase of the third round. Following the sequence, here we should start with single stitches. Remember that here we start with single stitches and finish with increases. So we start with single stitches, We do an increase. Single stitches, increase, single stitches. Finishing with an increase stitch. I finished the 9 stitches of the increase. Let's close this third round. The hook under the full chain stitch, the hook under the full chain stitch, the hook under the full chain stitch. We place the reserved loop, done. And we bring it back here. We adjust. I finished the third round with 48 stitches. In the increases, we worked 9 stitches, and on the sides, we continued working with 15 single stitches. We are going to start round 4. We pass the hook under the strand that we brought to the back, place the reserved loop, adjust it, and make the first stitch. We make the next one, and we finish. And we finish. We are going to continue until we reach the stitch before the marker. That completes the 15 stitches. Here we are going to follow a sequence of increase stitches, and in 2 stitches we're going to increase. 2 single stitches. We are going to work the increase stitch on top of the single stitch, and the ones from the previous round and the single stitches, we are going to work them on top of the increase stitch from the previous round. We finish, and we remove the marker, and we work the stitch for the increase round.
1, 2.
We place the marker again. We make a single stitch.
We already have it, and we already have it.
Single stitch.
Single stitch.
Increase stitch.
Stitch of
Stitch of. Single crochet.
Stitch of
Simple stitch. Increase stitch. Simple stitch. Here, in the last stitch, we'll also make a single crochet. I completed the first increase, and here we make 12 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Following the increase sequence, 2 single crochets, then an increase. 2 single crochets, an increase, 2 single crochets. Now we're going to work the 15 stitches on this side. And here we'll continue the sequence just like we did on this side. I did the 15 stitches, and I finished. The second increase of round number 4, I finished the 4th round with a total of 54 stitches. We work 12 stitches in the increases at each corner, and in the center, we continue working 15 single crochets. Here, I have already finished closing the round. Now, let's start the 5th and final round. We're going to do it just as I explained to you before. We have the first stitch. We're going to work the single crochet stitches until we complete all 15 stitches. Finish the 15 stitches. We're going to work the increases in this 5th round. Here, we're going to start a sequence of 3 single crochet stitches. 1 increase, 3 single crochet stitches, 1 increase, 3 single crochet stitches, finishing with 1 increase. On this side, we're going to work 15 single crochet stitches. And here, we're going to start just like we did on the other side, with 3 single crochet stitches, an increase, 3 single crochet stitches, an increase, 3 single crochet stitches, finishing with an increase. We start on this side. We work the 3 single crochet stitches. 2,
3.
3. We work the increase. 1, 2. 3 single crochet stitches. Increase stitch. 1 stitch.
2.
3 simple stitches.
Point of.
And in this last one, we make the increase. We are going to work the 15 simple stitches. I finished the 5th and last round with a total of 60 stitches. I worked the 15 stitches on this side and made the increases as I had explained, finishing with a total of 15 stitches. I'll give you the measurements. In length, it's 26 centimeters wide. 11 centimeters. If you want to make the bag bigger, you should start with the base. We worked 5 rounds. You can do 6, 7, or 8 depending on the size you want for the bag. Just make sure you follow the sequence. And if you're new, I recommend following the process exactly as I'm explaining it so you don't get confused with the stitches later on. We finished the base, and this is how the stitches look. See how it looks similar to the twisted stitch, but this one forms a cross. You can see they're well organized, they're nice and tight, and our base turned out really firm. When you're crocheting them, I recommend tightening the stitch so it stays firm and doesn't turn out too loose. Try to make your stitches this tight because the structure of our bag depends a lot on this. And this is how the stitches look on the back. Let's take this opportunity to hide this yarn tail that we have left. We'll do it from the underside of the stitches. We're going to use a smaller hook to help us. We pass the hook through. We take the yarn tail, we pass it through. We finish hiding the thread, and when you're done, right here underneath, you're going to put a drop of silicone or make a simple stitch with needle and thread to prevent the yarn tail from coming loose. You cut the excess here and hide it with the help of a smaller hook. Now we're going to work on the body of the bag. Continuing with round number 6 in this round, we're not going to make any increases. We're going to work 1 stitch under each chain until we complete the 60 stitches. If you're wondering, Mari, can I work on this project with another material? Let me tell you. Yes, of course you can do it with another material, with whatever you have on hand. It could be cord, it could be t-shirt yarn, it could be satin cord, depending on the material you can find in your country or your city. You're going to continue with the same process, and you're going to follow the measurements that I'm giving you. Here, we've already finished closing the 5th round. Now we're going to start round number 6 by passing the needle under the strand. We make the first stitch here. And here, in the stitch below, I'm going to place a marker, so I know that this is where round number 5 ended. And here, the stitch of the sides. We pass the needle under the whole chain stitch. And we make the stitch. I'm going to place a stitch marker here. I'll place the stitch here. We are going to continue working the stitches under each chain without increasing until we get here to the last stitch. I finished round 6 with 60 stitches. It's the same number of stitches we finished the last round of the base with. Here you can notice that it will start to curl up. It's starting to take on this canoe shape. And that's because we're already building up the body of the bag. It's normal because we're not dividing the base from the body, but instead we're working in a continuous way. I'm going to continue working 5 more rounds without increases for a total of 11. I'll work these 5 rounds, and then I'll explain how we're going to continue. I've already done the 5 rounds 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Counting the first one we did, we have a total of 6 rounds without increases. To these rounds, we're going to add the 5 we did for the base. Look, I placed a marker here to separate the body from the base of the bag. So let's count all the rounds starting here at the first one. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now we're going to work on round number 12. And in this one, we're going to do stitch decreases. We're going to place the markers on each side. Position yourself at the center stitch, and we're going to count 30 stitches after the marker. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. We place the other marker on this side. And after the marker, we are going to count 30 stitches. And it should end here where the marker is. Here, I have already closed round number 11. Let's start round number 12, and we'll continue working the reverse stitch 1 under each chain until we get here. We're going to leave the second to last and the last stitch, where the marker is, without working them. Complete the stitches. When you get here to the stitch before the marker, we're going to work the decrease in these 2 stitches. We pass the hook under the chain. We yarn over. We pass the hook again through the stitch where the marker is. We pull up a loop. We have 3 loops on the hook. We yarn over and pull through all 3. We place the marker again. We pass the hook under the next chain, and we make the stitch. We continue working the single crochets. We are going to make the second decrease. We pass the hook under the stitch that is before the marker. Here, where the marker is. We have 3 loops on the hook. We yarn over and pull through all of them. And that's how we've made the decrease on this side. We are going to continue working the stitches until we get here, where we will close the round. Let's close the round. It's the same one we've done in all the rounds. Let's go. With this, we finished round number 12 with a total of 58 stitches. Now, we're going to work rounds 13 and 14. Here, we're not going to do any increases or decreases. We're going to continue working with the base of 58 stitches. I'm going to do these 2 rounds, and then I'll continue the process with you. I finished round number 13 and number 14. Now, we're going to work on number 15, and here we're going to do decreases. We're going to place the markers on top of the decrease from round number 12. Here. We're going to start round number 15, and we'll work single crochet stitches until we get here, to the stitch before the second to last one, right here in this one. I finished the stitches. Let's do the decrease. We insert the hook. We yarn over and pull up a loop. We insert the hook under the next chain. We have 3 loops on the hook. We yarn over and close the stitch. Let's use the marker here again. We continue working the stitches. Hook. We are going to make the second decrease. We remove the marker. We pass the hook under the chain. Marker. Again, under the next one. We have 3 little loops on the hook. We yarn over and close. We're going to make the join. We finish round number 15 with 56 stitches. Here's how the piece starts to look. See how it's starting to close up a little more. Now, we're going to work on round number 16 and number 17, just like we did with round number 13 and number 14. We're not going to do any increases or decreases. We're going to work on the base of 56 stitches. I do those 2 simple rounds, and then we continue the process. I finished the simple rounds, number 16 and 17. Now, let's work on round number 18, and this will be the last round with decreases. Let's place the markers on the stitches where we are going to make the decreases. We start by placing the first one on top of the stitch where we made the previous decrease. We count 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. We place the other marker here, and that's it. We count 1, 2, 3. Let's do the other side. Let's start the decreases. We'll do the first one at the stitch where the marker is, with the next stitch. After that, we'll make 3 single crochets. Remember that this marker served as our guide. And we're going to make the last decrease at this stitch, with the stitch where the marker is. So there will be 1 decrease, 3 single crochets, and here is the last decrease. We remove the marker. We pass the hook through. We yarn over and pull up a loop. We pass the hook under the next chain stitch. We have 3 loops on the hook. We yarn over and pull through all of them. We remove the marker. And we make the 3 regular stitches.
1,
2, 3. Let's do the last decrease. Let's work the regular stitches until we get here to the stitch before the marker. We're going to make the decreases on this side. Let's check the first one. We place the marker here. We work the 3 regular stitches. And here we'll do the last one. We're going to finish the round. We finish round number 18 with 52 stitches. This is how the decreases turned out. Now we're going to work on round number 19 and number 20. We're going to work on, well, 20. Now we're going to work on round number 18 and number 20. These are going to be simple rounds without increases or decreases. Now we're going to work on 2 simple rounds, number 19 and number 20. We'll do it on a base of 52 stitches. I completed the 2 simple rounds after the last increase. This would be the body of the bag. If you want it a little taller, you can keep working the rounds. It all depends on how tall you want it. Now we're going to make the handles. And here we'll do 2 more rounds to start making the handles. We're going to divide our piece into 2 parts. We place a marker on each corner, and we should have 26 stitches on this side, and 26 stitches. I've already placed the markers. Now let's locate the spaces where we'll start the handles. We count starting from the stitch after the marker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. On this side, we'll also count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 7. We follow the same process. We already have the markers in place. Now we're going to remove the ones on the sides. From this marker to this marker, we have 15 stitches. 15 stitches on this side, and here in the center we have worked 11 stitches. We're going to start the round by making the first stitch. Here we start the chains. We're going to work 21 chains until we reach this side. Let's go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's go. I finished the 21 chains. Now we're going to close it here, where the marker is. I do recommend you make this one pretty tight. This is how it turned out. If you want, you can make them bigger by adding more chains here. We're going to continue with the regular stitches until we get here, to the stitch before the marker. We're going to chain 21 and try to make them the same size as these, so both sides turn out even. I finished the chains. Now let's close it off. Let's tighten the stitch here. And we keep working regular stitches until we get here. Let's make the last stitch. We close the round. Now we'll begin another round of single crochet. We're not going to work this last stitch here. We're going to go straight to the chain. We pass the hook underneath. Here we arrange the yarn very well. And we make a single crochet. Look, we didn't do this last one. We pull it a little bit here. We position the yarn neatly so the stitch comes out nice and even. I I finished the single crochets. I made a total of 22. These may vary depending on the height you want to give to the handle. We're not going to make the next stitch here in the first chain, but in the second one. Remember that on this side, we don't skip the last stitch, and we work directly on the handle. So here, we're not going to make this first stitch. Instead, we go underneath of the second chain. Here we make the stitch. I've already worked the stitches. Let's continue the stitches on the handle. Remember that we won't do this last one. We move to this side. And we make the first stitch here. We are going to continue working single crochets until we complete 22. I completed the 22 stitches. On this side, I worked the first stitch in the second chain, leaving the first one unworked. I made the stitches on this side, and here we're going to join it to begin one last round, and this one will be made with slip stitches. To give a better finish and more structure to the edge of our bag, we close this round. And we're going to start the round with slip stitches. And we have a little loop here on the hook. We're going to insert the hook under each chain. Here in these spaces. We insert the hook under the next chain, yarn over, pull up a loop. Now we have 2 loops on the hook, and we're going to pull the first loop through the one we already had. This way, we insert the hook under the next one again. Yarn over. We pull up a loop and slip it through here. This way, the slip stitches will look like this. We're going to keep working all along the edge of the bag until we reach the last stitch here. Now we're going to make the last slip stitch. Look, this is the side where we started, and here's the last chain. We go through the center, yarn over, and slip the stitch. We're going to cut the yarn. We pull out the little loop. And with the help of a thinner needle, we're going to create the look of the last chain. We take the yarn, and we're going to pass it from underneath of this chain. We pass the needle through the center of the stitch. We grab the yarn and pull it to the back. Here we lay it down very well. So the chain stays the same size at the front. Here's how the closure turned out. Now we're going to bring the yarn from the back. We're going to hide this remaining yarn under the stitches, just like we did before. I've already hidden the yarn under the stitches. When you finish the tip, you can add a drop of silicone or make a simple seam so the yarn doesn't come out. Look how beautiful and dense the stitches turned out. Very firm. It gave our bag a good structure. And I'll show you how the silhouette of the bag turned out. Look how beautiful it is. I'll give you the final measurements. The height at the center of the bag. I ended up with 16.5 centimeters. The height with the handle. It measures 27 centimeters, here on the sides. I ended up with 19 centimeters. On the top part, I ended up with 24 centimeters. Here at the bottom part, I ended up with 29 centimeters. I'm going to place the custom label. I'll put it in the center. And finally, I'm going to add this tassel. If you're new and don't know how to make it, I'll leave the step-by-step link in the video description. We've reached the end of the class. Thank you for joining me throughout the whole process. I hope you enjoyed it and that you put it into practice. If that's the case, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and leave a comment as a sign of appreciation. See you in the next class. God bless you. Bye.